What's up, guys? Welcome back. Let's get into the comments from Charles Hoskinson, because right now he gets into the problem for Cardano. All right. And this is something where we've had a lot of conversation, and I've personally read a lot of comments from viewers, and a lot of people are saying, hey, Cardano's price is the problem. Cardano's price is going to zero. Cardano is done and forgotten about. I've heard it all. We've been covering Cardano for years here on the channel, talking Cardano every single day. And I want to share with you guys kind of these comments from Hoskinson, because if there's one person out there, in my opinion, that does believe in ADA more than anyone else, it is him. And I think it is relevant as we kind of navigate this weird little time frame that we are in, as we look at kind of Cardano on the charts. And it's kind of revealing, because we have a lot of big things coming up for ADA. And I think a lot of people are maybe too keen to what's actually happening with the price levels without actually knowing what's going on. So I want to share with you guys my thoughts. If you are new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get those thumbs up going. I do appreciate all my returning subscribers. We try to talk Cardano each and every single day on the channel, and let's get right into it. So this was a very interesting kind of dissertation, if you will, by the big man Charles, as we look into what he's talking about, the narrative void. And I will share the actual post on X where we talk about that being the bigger threat and problem for Cardano, more so than the price action that we see with ADA. All right, so let's get into that. I will tell you guys, this is not financial advice. Please be sure to do your own research and due diligence. We are going to look at this X post, but before we do, if there's any leverage or spot traders out there looking for, in my opinion, one of the hottest promotions going as exchanges can go, and this is a 10% bonus on your first time deposit. You will get a 40% discount on trading fees using my link, as well as the $10,055 per user. You can earn in extra bonuses just by signing up using my link. So if you do want to enjoy those nice promotional bonuses by joining BTCC, a lot of users have made the switch to this exchange. 14 plus years in the industry, and no VPN KYC necessary. Just run it through your due diligence and make sure it's right for you before doing any kind of trading on this platform, and get started today if you do want to make the switch. All right, so that link will be down below in the description. But the first thing we want to kick this off on is this post by Charles, and I will preface this actually by looking at the market. The top 100, we're having a green day. Cardano's up 3.8%, getting almost back up to 60 cents. That's what we like to see. Still 10th in market cap, but a sizable difference between them and Hyperliquid, which is just below Cardano. So I do think there is going to be a pretty nice little cushion for ADA. I don't really see us dropping out of the top 10, in my personal opinion. We're not looking to be 10th. I think we can move up a little bit in that conversation. Just need to get a little bit more of these catalysts actually coming true and into fruition. All right. But as we look at the X, this is the big thing right now, right? And I'm not going to read this word for word. If you guys want to know more, you can go check out IOHK_Charles. You can see this tweet from him himself. It's pretty much the biggest post on his page. Also, if you don't follow me on X, make sure you do so. You will find my page in the description as well. There will be a link for that. So he goes on to talk about, we have Leos, Hydra, Midnight, and Bitcoin DeFi. And in my personal opinion, for my money, the Bitcoin layer 2 solution is, in my opinion, the best catalyst right now for ADA, not the ETFs. Okay, so that's just me personally. Leave a comment down below if you kind of share that same sentiment. Now, as we get into this, right, the biggest kind of thing right now in his opportunity that he goes on to talk about is that Bitcoin DeFi, like what I said, is the largest opportunity. But the biggest issue is that we are missing a competent foundation and executive authority to push these narratives into the mindset of the space. Now let's go full screen for a little bit, because I do want to kind of align us with what he just said. This is where we look into the biggest problem in my mind before he opened his mouth, is the fact that Cardano's not the shiny car on the lot, okay? They're not the flashy new object, the toy that everybody gravitates to. Yes, they were third in market cap at one point in time. Yes, myself and probably a lot of people watching this video did buy ADA above $3 or $2.90, wherever I bought it. Okay, but this is kind of where you look into the storyline. And coming out from someone such as Charles himself, this is very revealing in my personal opinion. Okay. He talks about how so many people push him to step up and represent the entire ecosystem, feeling their frustration, their exhaustion, as they're currently mocked. I mean, we could talk about kind of how it goes down a little later in this. Being accused of stealing hundreds of millions without any evidence was the lowest point of his career. The adversity for Cardano is kind of waist deep, okay? And as we look at it, he goes on to talk about Rare Evo and the fact that within his frustration and his turning point that he kind of goes on to talk about, that Cardano is right on the forefront of in being best positioned to capture the next $1 trillion of growth. This was, in my opinion, outside of some kind of presidential address before you go down. It almost felt that way, like a presidential address before you're going to battle or some huge monumental taking over, some kind of form of government. It just really had that kind of effect for me in just feeling the emotion behind this post, okay? Talking about how Rare Evo will be the most important events for him as in Cardano holders, as we need to discuss this lingering governance issues, update the Constitution and the executive authority, as well as get that sovereign wealth fund started to showcase all of the remarkable innovation, okay? So I am looking forward to Rare Evo. I actually wanted to attend that, not going, full disclosure. But you could just sense the frustration. And let me know your takes on this down below, okay? But I do think with Midnight Bitcoin DeFi, that layer 2, and if we do get kind of what he's campaigning for to actually come to fruition, those three things, in my opinion, are what can take Cardano to the next level, not the ETFs. Yes, it will help. No, I'm not a full-blown believer in what ETFs do for crypto overall, okay? So that's how I feel about it. I think the Midnight airdrop is going to be very interesting. We'll see. Anytime you welcome in other blockchains and ecosystem to free money, free tokens, I just really feel like they're going to receive their airdrops and then they will offload them as soon as possible. So I'm not too bullish on that, full disclosure, okay? But he talks about how this is more of a threat than the Cardano price, okay? And I think that narrative void, okay, and this is the driving home quote for me. The biggest issue that we are missing is a competent foundation and an executive authority to push these narratives into the mindset of space. Kind of curious what he's looking for, okay? Donald Trump, albeit that was maybe a false tweet about the strategic reserve featuring ADA, but you have the most pro-regulated government. The table is set. You basically have crypto teed up on a platter, okay? There's no SEC battles, really. There's no people anti-crypto. If they want to get something crypto related through the House, through the Senate, it happens. It's happened before, okay? Trump, with his executive orders, can just shuffle something through. Now, that is just some of the kind of stepping stones that we talked about, right? We talked about Leos, Hydra, Midnight, the Bitcoin layer 2, the ETFs, all that good stuff, right? And even getting more so into USDM and for the form of a stablecoin within MinSwap, Bitcoin integration, the $2 trillion liquidity pool that lies within Bitcoin as well. There's a lot of things coming down the pipe for Cardano, okay? But I think as we look at it, this data from CoinMarketCap, you have to look at kind of where we're at. It continues to look downward. The downward pressure does continue to surmount. And that's nothing that I'm going to sit here and pump sunshine on a cloudy day. All right. I'm not going to make you guys watch a video and I'm going to say Cardano's going to the moon. Yes, I believe in Cardano. Yes, I am an ADA bull. But right now, it's not just Cardano that's suffering the same fate. And yes, it's going to be something where I think the real value of Cardano is at 60 cents in that range. Yes, we did hit $1.20 earlier on in this year. And no, I don't think that there is any reason why Cardano can't get back to $1 or above, okay? That's just how I feel about it. There's a lot of resistance in our path, but I wanted to share with you guys these comments from Charles himself, and I do encourage you to go on his X page, follow him if you have not already done so. If you are a Cardano holder, you should all be following Charles Hoskinson at the very minimum, and really just kind of dive into the words, because you could definitely sense the frustration in the work that he's putting in behind the scenes that I think myself, I've been guilty of in the past. I think that I look at some of his excursions and trips that he goes on and what he's been doing when the markets are just getting plummeted. And no, he can't control that. But it is something where I just want a little bit better attendance and attentiveness, if you will, okay? That's where I stand. I wanted to share with you guys my thoughts. I appreciate the couple minutes that you did spend watching me talk about this subject. If you haven't done so by now, though, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us. Like I said, we talk Cardano each and every single day, pretty much. So I do appreciate all my returning subscribers. Also, if you haven't checked out BTCC, make the switch. Links are down below in the description for that. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you all tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.